everyone. I just went over the Mocha water filter in this other video, so this video is the other water filter. It is some people call it the water bottle straw, the filter straw. There's a few different names for these. There's different versions, different models, different makes. So when it comes in the mail, it looks like this. And it says right on the sticker here, Survivor Filter, Personal Water Filter Straw. Survivor Water Filter Straws for drinking, emergency, camping, backpacking, hiking. Bug, 99.999% tested for virus. New item. Comes in this nice little box. You open her up, and this is it. It says on it here, Survivor Filter. I think that's the name of the company, Survivor Filter. They have other ones too. They have like the pump, like the Moco, but it's a little different. Same idea though. And you get your little how-to manual, directions, how to clean it and whatnot. And I just keep the box because it's when I dry these things out, sometimes I'll use the box, or it just keeps it nice and dry after I put it back together. I just keep the box, I keep it in there and then I pack it in with the rest of my stuff. It came with 5 or 6 of these other cotton filters that goes in the bottom. So there's the box, there's a manual. So this is what you do with this thing. You can, it is made so you can put a tube at the bottom like the tube at the Moco. And you can do it like that if you wanted to. Put it in a tube, stick it in a container, and then suck on it that way. So it's not a pump. You have to, you can do it by squeezing the bottle or just drinking it. And so it's made so it doesn't fit every water bottle. Like if you were to get a Big 8 bottle, the grooves are kind of small. It's a different type of cap. But the standard Coca-Cola, Pepsi type bottle, Aquafina type bottle, those lids will work. You just screw it on like that, and then you just pop the lid off, and then you can drink it like that. You can just put it upside down, put it in another bottle, and just squeeze it. And you have to be patient with this thing too. If you reef on it, just like I was explaining in the other video, if you really want to reef on the thing, you want to be rough with it, you're going to end up getting leaks, you're going to break it, it's not going to work properly. So you have to be patient, you got to be gentle with these things if you want it to work properly. Especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere, or if you're in a bad situation and you're stranded, you definitely want to be careful with this, because this might be the only thing that's going to keep you alive. Okay, you could go up to 2 weeks without food, but 3, 4, maybe 5 days without water, especially in the heat, yeah, you might not make it. So treat this like it's your baby, okay? So I'll show you how to take this thing apart. The design is pretty decent. I'm actually pretty satisfied with it, very impressed. There are some other models. Just one second. The sound of that fan. There are other models, other makes. There are these blue ones that are from the States. They're pretty famous. Don't remember the name of them. Life Straw or something like that. And some of those are only one use or a few uses. And I just find it kind of useless. And I'm not squatting on anybody else's products, but I like filters that say that you can use it for a lifetime. So don't get it confused. The carbon filter in the middle is 0.05 microns. Okay, so the Moco we were talking about is 0.01. So it can knock out even the most nastiest, smallest bacteria that can really mess your day up, mess your life up, kill you if you have a weak immune system. So 0.01 is pretty freaking good. You can get rid of chlorine, chloride, fluoride, maybe not all fluoride, but most of it. This is a 0.05. So there might be a few things that pass through, because like I said, the smallest nasty organisms are 0.02, or those little bacterias. They look kind of like a bean or like a pill. Those little buggers, they get in there in your system, they start feeding off you, and they start duplicating. You don't want that. So you wouldn't want to do this all the time, That's what I use the mocha filter for, or the moco filter. Um, you can use that all the time. 0.01, you're good to go. You wouldn't want to do this day after day after day after day, because there's going to be some little bugger that's going to pass through your filter, and you're going to get messed up, especially if you're not close to like a running water stream. Because if you're near like a really murky lake or a pond that's been sitting there for a long time, it's very stagnant, there's not a lot of running water, the only fresh water that comes through it is it's seeping away and rainwater coming in, a source like that, you know, you want to make sure, I find these work best is if you have like a nice clear looking stream, not too murky, running water, and you just want to stay away from the murkiness with these. So with the Moco, with the pump, down at the very bottom with the Moco, you have the little screen with the little floaty. So with this, it's the same type of idea, but for this, it's a little cotton filter, and you can clean these and dry them out, reuse them. So this actually has a little bit of yellow on it. That's because I went for a camping trip and I took water from the water supply, because it was one of those campgrounds where you get electricity and you get water. So I would not drink that. Most people just use it for their showers and their bathroom and all that. But I needed some water for cooking and a little bit for drinking, because the store wasn't open and yada yada. So I used this for about a liter, maybe 2 liters. And you can tell, I don't know if you can see that yellow, but just from 1 or 2 uses, it got yellow. And it just kind of shows you what's in those pipes, what kind of chemicals, what kind of grossness is in chemical treated water that usually comes from a federal or a provincial type government water system, whether it's a school or a business or just in city limits. But this was way out in the middle of nowhere, and it was still treated water. So you could clean this with vinegar, alcohol, vinegar and water, alcohol water, or just alcohol or just vinegar, whatever you choose, and then dry it out. After it gets really filthy, you definitely want to change it. It comes with 5 or 6, and you can buy more off their site, or you can just buy them off Amazon. So the filter goes in there, boop, and then you can see here, it's like a carbon filter, and this filter has like a bunch of little tiny wires that are like, it looks like little wires, like little, kind of like, they look like plastic wires, like just in a loop, and they're all tightly knitted together. And I think there's like some type of carbon filter in there. I'm not sure. I don't know what the inside looks like. I can only see this white part. It looks like a bunch of strings. They're really tight and knitted together. The water passes through here to get rid of the sediment and that yellowish stuff. Passes through here, do, and then it comes up here. I'm gonna take it apart for you. I'm gonna put this back on. So you screw your water bottle source, or you stick in the straw, and you can have a bag that has a clip on it that they sell with these. I didn't bother getting them. I might change my mind and get them. I think it's $10 a piece, 20 for 2, or there's a deal where you get 2 with this thing when you buy it, or this by itself. You screw it on there, and it's just like a bag, and you know it shrinks as you're drinking out of it, and there's a clip so you can put it on your backpack, and I think it holds almost 2 liters. So you can screw in or use the bag, and or use a tube. Goes in there, passes through there. So to take this thing apart, it's a little different. How did I do this last time? I think I flipped up. Okay, no. You twist it. You can roll up this little leather flap. I find the best way to do it is give it a little twist, pop it out just a little bit, and roll back this rubber flap. I'll show you. Just roll it back, just like this. There we go. So you twist it, pop it out a little bit, roll the rubber flap back, and then it should just come right off. There we go. So you have that cotton, that little flat cotton piece that picks up the first bit. It goes to that carbon wiry type filter, and then it looks like that on the other end. And then here is like another cotton, maybe carbon filter kind of filter. This has to be changed every 1,000 liters. But this centerpiece So this piece here has to be changed every so often, however you feel like it. If it looks too gross and gooky, this thing can go 100,000 liters, which is amazing. Because if you only drink 2 liters a day for 85 years, it's somewhere around 67,000 liters. So this can do a lifetime, the centerpiece, which is pretty amazing. I think that's if you're using not crazy murky water. It's, you know, like a stream, it looks clear. You don't want to be sipping out of muddy puddles. It's not going to last a lifetime. It's not going to last 100,000 liters. But if you have reasonably decent looking water, it'll do about 100,000 liters or 60,000, a lifetime basically. So you got to change that often. You got to change the tip every 1,000 liters. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Eventually that's going to start changing in color. And just like with the Moco video, if you haven't watched it, you should check it out on my channel. You have to take these things apart after each use. Not, oh, I'm going to use it and then it's going to sit in my tent overnight and then build up bacteria and build up gook. Or let's say if it's really cold and you're around freezing and then you start getting ice in the thing. No. You gotta keep it room temperature, or you gotta keep it in a temperature where it's not gonna freeze on the inside. You gotta make sure that it doesn't overheat. Leave it in the sun, because then you can ruin the way that things work on the inside, like the material and the quality of it. You just gotta make sure after each time you use the thing, whether you filter just a cup, 250 milliliters, a half a liter, or a quart, or let's say 4 liters or 10 liters. When you're done for that day, you gotta take it apart, screw off the bottom, keep the filter, clean it with some vinegar and water or some alcohol, or just rinse it with some clean water, let it dry out, leave it all apart with all the parts out, you know, let it dry out for 24 to 48 hours. Make sure you shake it, get all the water out of it. You shake it quite a bit, you'll get some water sprinkling out of it. Take the cap, you know, and leave it in a nice area, like I said before, with some paper towel underneath of it, in a box. Make sure it's clean wherever it's at, or in a room where there's a fan blowing. Just 24 to 48 hours. Make sure it's nice and dry before you put it back together. When you do put it back together, like I show you here, it's just that screw on part. The filter, pop the filter back in, screw it back on, make sure there's no water in there. And then this part, there's these two little L-shaped notches. You just gotta make sure that you line it up properly and the grooves are right. So remember how that rubber piece is flipped back. Now, if you want to do this while the rubber piece is flipped down, you're gonna have issues. So make sure that you flip it back so you can see what you're doing. And you line them up. Those, I don't know if you can see it. The little flaps there, the little piece there. You'll know right away if you got it on the wrong side. Oh, there's also this little rubber seal. You gotta make sure that's in there properly. It's not cracked, not ripped. It comes with extra little rubber seals. Little seal right there, okay? So when you push that down, you gotta make sure you push it in nice and gently, and then you twist it together, just like that. Boom. Okay. So that rubber seal is gonna keep the water from pushing through, but also what helps it is that tight fit, and then also this rubber flap that also holds the cap on. You just pull that down, just like that. Make sure it's nice and snug back in the place where it's supposed to be. And then boom, it's ready to go for another use. You see? And I think over time, depending on how you store this thing, and if you leave it in the sun or not, and if you just don't take care of it, over time, eventually this is gonna give out, you know. But then again, that's why you get a new cap every 1,000 liters. After a year or so, yeah, you're gonna wanna get one anyways. And you know, your mouth is gonna be on this thing if you're gonna be drinking like that, so you're gonna make sure you clean it. You make sure you clean it with vinegar or alcohol. So yeah, there you go. This is the survival straw, one of them. Really love this thing. It's really great. I give it about a 4-star. And I'm not trying to squash on the company or anything, but it's just because it's only a 0.05. If it was a 0.02 and small and smaller, then I would probably give it a 4.5 or a 5-star. But seeing that you are going to take just a little bit of a risk with this thing, but since it's only going to be emergency situations and it's just good to have, yeah, about 4, maybe 4.5. So I'm actually going to be selling survival kit bags. I'm going to have different versions on my website at campsurvival.ca. This is going to be one of the items that will be in probably every survival bag, because it'll just be amazing to have. You know, you got your survival bag with you, you got your compass, you got your flint, your waterproof matches, you got your trusty water filter straw or your Moco. Yeah, this is a really good idea. You'll have so much confidence. As long as you know there's a water source nearby, which is not hard to find, you'll be so much more confident having one of these. I think it's amazing. It's great technology. So there you have it, folks. The Survivor filter. Oh yeah. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos. I'm gonna keep on doing more reviews on survival products. I have a whole bunch that I gotta do, so I will just do one thing at a time. And if you want one of these, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below, and any accessories that come with it, I'll try to also make a link below with it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your subscription, and I appreciate if you like. I will keep up with the series, and I will try to keep bringing you people awesome products that you can use that will keep you alive, and yeah, teach you how to survive. So, camp survival. Be prepared, people. Peace out, y'all.